We've got yin yang tonight is a little bit of a treat for those who actually quite like just coming for the yin part, because we're doing more of the slower stuff tonight. So we have still got a little bit of movement, but not as we would normally do it, with all the flow up front and then the slower holds at the end. So we're in our re-energize week, and we are re-energizing, but in the sense of releasing stuck energy and tired energy. So with our yin poses, we do that with twists, and we do it with hip openers. So that's sort of where we are tonight. There's no need for any props, but if you like to grab some, or you like to fold onto cushions, or you like to pad the knees, then just grab anything that you think you might need. But you can do most of it without any props. Oh, in fact, you can do all of it without any props. All right, so yeah, a little bit of movement in between, but we're going to be getting into those yin poses right from the start tonight. So you can pop your music on, and we're going to begin in a child's pose. So we'll be here for about 4 minutes. So feel free, if you want to lie onto bolsters, give yourself that little bit of an extra prop and a lift, you can take that. If you're comfy in your child's pose, then just find your way there. Knees can go nice and wide. I'll guide you into this one and then leave you in a little bit of silence as we begin. So as you settle in, just notice how the body's feeling. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice any tension that's there, obviously, in the body, that you can just straight away begin to release. And as you notice all those sensations, you begin to gradually draw the awareness in towards just the breath. Just feel the body breathe to begin with. Be aware of the expansion on the inhale, the drawing back inwards on the exhale. And as you settle there with your breath, just begin to lengthen it out. You can take your time here. We'll have another couple of minutes just focusing on that breath. Can you find a little bit more space to inhale into, let the belly expand. And if the inhalation feels restricted, just focus for now on the exhalation. I'm going to take a few more breaths here in your child's pose. And then we're moving it towards a side body stretch. You're in control of how far you move with this one. So just a little bit of energy through the forearms, lift onto fingertips. Start to walk over to the right hand side. It can just be a couple of paces with the hands, or you may walk as far as you can reach. Drop palms back to the earth. Feel like you're drawing the floor back towards you. Breathe into that left hand side. 3 more breaths into this side. And then moving nice and slowly, lift back towards fingertips. Take lots of little paces with the hands through center, over to the left. And then reconnect through the palms, send the hips towards the right heel. Breathe as deeply as you can into the right hand side. Final breaths on this side. And then you're easing your way back through center. And when you get to center, bring yourself up into that tabletop position. Yeah, so when you get there, we're just sort of rocking forward and, back and round to the side. So you're sinking the hips back and then just easing the hips one way and then the other. So nice, just easy movements, more for the hips than the spine. You might have started small, you may be able to build in a little bit more movements. Take a couple more each way. All right, and then from there, you have the choice how you want to move here. Regular cat and cow is just fine. If you want to take a more circular, sweeping around the outside of a tube sort of movement with the body, you can take that. You can take a mixture of the two and keep it really fluid. Anything to work through the spine, the shoulders. Yeah, whatever the body needs. You can close your eyes. Just if you're circling, make sure that you go in both directions. And then we're just going to take a brief downward dog here. So find your way there, pedal the legs. We are just using this practice to move energy through the body, create a little bit of energy. So connect with your breath here, maybe Ujjayi breath in downward dog. Be aware of that connection through the palms, energy through the spine, through the legs, meeting at the base of the spine. Couple more breaths. And then from there, bring the knees back down to the mat. Now, we're not in this one for too long. I know it's not a favorite, our toe stretch pose. So tuck the toes under. If you can, get all toes in contact with the floor. Sit your weight back on the heels. Just rest the hands down to begin with. Sit nice and tall. Take a few breaths here. I promise you this is not like a 2-minute hold, so we're not here for long. And just to distract ourselves, let's connect in with our breath. Take a big inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, draw that down to the heart. With the breath again, inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Twice more. Lovely, move at your own speed. Take those 4 big breaths. We're coming off the toes any minute. Take a couple more breaths if you can. And then drop yourself back towards all fours. Just untuck the toes, tap the feet out, circle the ankles, anything that's needed. All right, from there, left hand stays on the mat, right fingertips come behind the right ear. Just easy rotations from here. Take an inhale to open the elbow. Exhale, elbow to left arm. So just nice and easy with your breath. And if it feels a little bit restricted to begin with, just stay with it. You may find a little bit more ease of movement as we flow. You can always take only to halfway if that feels better. Don't force the twist. All right, and then next time that you lift the arm up, can you extend the arm all the way to the sky? Open as much as you can through the chest. Take a big breath in here. And then as you exhale, thread that right arm through. Now try and keep the hips nice and level. Reach those right fingertips through as far as you can. And drop down onto your right ear, right shoulder. Now that left hip will want to come forward. Send it back. And once you land there, you can stay just as you are, or you can let the left hand walk forward to the top of the mat. And then try and settle in here to doing as little as possible. It's a gentle rotation through the spine. You may be feeling a little bit of release through the shoulders. Taking a full minute or so on each side. So breathe as deeply as you can. Let the breath expand through the back body, the shoulders, anywhere that feels a little bit tight. Keep gently drawing your left hip back so it stays level with the right. You've got a couple more big breaths here. And then if the left arm is extended down your mat, draw it back so that it's in front of the face. Press into the earth as you unravel nice and slowly. That right arm can come all the way up if you want to. Finish with a twist and then reset the hands. And then we take the same on the other side. So starting just with the elbow, left fingertips behind the left ear. Use your breath here. Inhale to open. Exhale to tap elbow to arm. Nice and easy. A mix of movement and breath, just finding gradually that space in the spine. You've got one more. Open and close with that elbow. And then next time you open the elbow up, extend the arm all the way. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, thread the left arm through and underneath. Keep that right hip drawing back. Extend the arm as far as it will go. Drop down onto left shoulder, left ear. And you can just stay here, use the right hand for support, or walk it forward along your mat. And if the arm extends along the mat, really allow that right shoulder to sink. So take away any efforts, any hold in that shoulder. Breathing here. Final couple of breaths along the length of the spine. And then you can bring that right hand back to be in front of the face. Press into that hand, unravel nice and slowly, maybe with an opening twist before you reset your tabletop position. All right, from your tabletop, just inch the hands forward slightly, bring the weight forward. We're only lowering down to the mat from here, so take an inhale. Lower down nice and slowly. And then keep the hands as they are, or maybe just shuffle them back slightly in towards the top ribs. Release the toes, nice easy cobras. So roll the shoulders back as you breathe in, lift the heart forward. And then exhale to roll back down. We're taking a few of these, so you don't have to go too high too quickly. Lift up on your inhale. Roll it back down as you exhale. 2 more. And then we have a choice for your hold. You can lift into Sphinx Pose, slightly softer back bend on the forearms, just drawing the heart through. If you want a little bit more compression through your low back, straighten the arms out and take your seal pose. Wherever you are, feel like you are just slightly lengthening the tailbone away. Almost engaging the glutes a little bit so that it's not a complete collapse into the low back. We'll take a minute here, so wherever you have chosen, settle in with your breath. And be aware of that space, that expansion in the front body as you breathe in. The heart is lifting through, shining forward. Maybe with some deeper breaths, feeling a sense of opening slightly lower down into the abdominals. All right, from there, lower down nice and slowly, or come back down and tuck hands under the shoulders, depending on where you were. Just press back up through your tabletop position. Take some easy movements, cat and cows, just to work through the spine. If it feels good to pause, maybe in a cat pose, take that option. And then when you're ready to return to your downward dog. We're not here for too long. You might drop straight into stillness this time, or keep it nice and fluid, pedaling the legs. All right, we're coming to the top of our mats into a standing forward fold. So look towards your hands and just start to inch the feet in. It might be that you've got really bent knees. You might release the hands from the floor. Find your way to the top of your mat and fold forward. We're going to unravel really nice and slowly. So start to pick up, feel as if you're stacking the spine from the bottom, drawing in the core to assist. And then as you lengthen and lift, the head and the shoulders hang forward until the last moment. Then as you arrive, you can loop the shoulders back, just pick up and lower the toes, the heels, connect through the soles of your feet. Take a moment here in mountain pose just to feel that energy draw up through the legs. Be aware of that rooting connection with the earth. And then we're taking a side stretch, a bit like banana pose that we would do on the floor. So sweep the arms up overhead. Take hold of your right wrists with the left hand and then just draw it over to the left. Doesn't have to be too far. We're holding for a few breaths. So don't go further than you can hold. Try and keep that right shoulder open. Don't collapse forward. And then slowly back up to center. Swap the hands. Take it over to the right. Lovely, back to center, release the hands. All right, we're just creating a little bit of bouncy energy here before we start to flow and head back to some nice slow stretches. So just sort of use the arms like you're skiing. It doesn't have to be any particular movement, but you're using the arms as a swing, bouncing into the knees. Keep it soft. All right, and then on your next inhale, sweep the arms up, tall. Nice and slowly hinge forward, breathing out. Lift halfway, find a nice long spine as you breathe in, fingertips to shins. Bow it back down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hinge and bow. Halfway lift. Folding on the exhale. Inhale, root to rise. Hands to heart center. Lovely. Take that big inhale to sweep up. Exhale, hinge and fold. We take a half lift on our breath in, and then this time step the right foot back. Nice big stride back on your mat. Drop the knee down. If you have sensitive knees, you may want to find your blanket at this point. Sweep the arms up just to find a low lunge to begin with. We're not here for too long. So drop into whatever shape feels good. If you want to cave into the hips and it feels nice, take it. If you want to find a little bit more strength and engagement of the core, take that option. Notice what feels best in your body. Lovely. One more big inhale here. As you exhale, drop the hands down, move them inside the left foot. And this is our lizard lunge. Now we're taking about 3 minutes here. So make it comfy. I'll let you know when we're halfway through, because you might want to go a little bit lower or a little bit wider. So begin with your left foot nice and close in to the left hand, knee nice and close to the shoulder. Sink the hips, lift the chest, or drop to your forearms. If you want to drop to your forearms, feel free. Just with these yin poses, don't go too deep too soon and regret it. As we settle back into the stillness of these poses, just be aware of what's happening in the parts of the body you're maybe not focusing on. So lots of sensation in the hips here. Just notice what's happening in your shoulders and your jaw. When you focus on taking those deeper breaths, are you tensing elsewhere that could be soft? We have another minute in this pose if you want to drop lower or open the left knee out a little bit wider. Feel free to take that option. It may be that you feel really settled where you are and you don't move a muscle, you just stay with your breath. Keep awareness in the body. I'm going to move out of this nice and slowly. So if you're low down onto your forearms, start to pick yourself up. We will begin by heel toeing, can't speak tonight, heel toeing your left foot back into center. And then from there, tuck the back toes, nice and slowly lift up that back knee. All right, we're walking round to the long edge of the mat from there. So walking to the right-hand side of your mat, doesn't matter if you turn away from me. Make sure toes turn in front of heels. Take a little lift halfway as you inhale. And then fold yourself forward as you exhale. All coming from that hip hinge, drop the body forward. Wherever you land, just shake out the head to release any tension. Feel like the weight is tipping into the balls of the feet, like you're spiraling the inner thighs backwards to broaden across the back of the legs. We won't be here too long. I know it's an inversion, so just settle with your breath. Okay, 2 more breaths. And then lift yourself back up onto fingertips so you're facing the floor. Give yourself a moment there. Then begin to walk back round to the top of your mat, left foot's forward. From there, step forward into your forward fold. All right, we're coming into our malasana, our squat, for about a minute. If a low squat isn't for you, feel free to head straight into your cobbler pose on the floor. I'll demonstrate in a minute. But you can take the feet a little bit wider, toes pointing off your mat. If you're heading to malasana, sink the hips down. Either fingertips can stay on the floor or you can lift hands to the heart. You're settling in here for about a minute. If you want to drop straight back, you can just head to cobbler pose early, soles of the feet together, drop the body in. So you'll just get a longer cobbler pose. If you're in your malasana, it's a little bit of a stronger one. Tune into your breath. Feel like you're breathing deep down into the belly, into the pelvis. If you've been there long enough, you can drop into cobbler at any point. If you're staying with me, we've got about 20 seconds left. All right, if you're still in your squat, just ease yourself either forward first and spin the legs round, or drop back carefully. When you get there, soles of the feet together, knees drop open, hold the feet like a book. Take a breath in as you lift the chest, and then hinge yourself forward to wherever you want to land. The arms may come in front of the shins. It may just be a little drop of the head. That's it. Let the full weight of the head and the body sink forward. A few more breaths here, make them really deep. Feel the belly expand as you breathe in. All right, and then pick yourself up. We're taking our shoelace legs. So if I mirror you from the front, your right leg is on top. So if you're happy taking full shoelace, you're tucking the feet in. The more they're tucked in, the more comfortable this is going to be for the hips. If this is not a good one for your knees, allow the left leg to be extended out in front. You can still drop this right foot over the top. Okay, so in your shoelace, this right hip will sort of lift up a little bit. Try and just send it down towards the earth. You can hold the feet or ground fingertips to the earth. Sit nice and tall. And this may be plenty. We're holding for a minute or so and then we're adding a twist. If this feels quite comfortable for you, just tip the body forward, like you're looking over the knees. A little bit more for the hips. Tonight, mine are saying, this is fine, thank you. Can you use the exhale to make that right hip feel heavy? And then if this feels enough, if you're quite happy being nice and steady in the middle, you want to stay for a little bit longer, just as you are, you can stay here. If you want the twist, lift through the spine as you breathe in and turn to your right as you breathe out. Your left arm will cross over the right knee. Little bit of pressure. Draw that right shoulder round. You might find the right hip sinks a little bit more. Lovely. One more breath. Unravel yourself nice and slowly. Unravel the legs, give them a little bit of a shake out in front. We've got all that on the second side, so move yourself back. We're just moving through all fours. Your, let me get it right, your right foot will come forward. Otherwise we'll do it all on the same side. So right foot forward to begin with. Sweep the arms up, just take a few breaths in that low lunge. We're going to be a little bit longer than our 45 minutes, I reckon, for this one, but we've got music on the playlist, so we're okay. We won't be too much over, but it always takes longer in these yin pose. Take a breath in. Hands come down as you breathe out inside that right foot. And find your lizard pose, so keep your knee nice and close to the shoulder to begin with. Don't drop too far, you can stay up on the hands. If you're nice and open and you want a little bit more, maybe find the forearms. I'll let you know when it's time to either drop deeper or take it into a wider lizard version. Keep coming back to the breath. Again, be aware of any tension in the jaw. If you want to drop a little bit deeper for the final minute here, you can. Or take that right knee a little bit wider. Final few breaths here. We move out of it really slowly, so lifting up onto your hands first of all if you're lower. Yeah, then heel toeing right foot back in towards center. Pick up the back knee and just move nice and slowly round to the left hand side of your mat. Spin the toes in front of heels. Take an inhale to lift up halfway. Fold it forward as you breathe out. If you've dropped a little bit lower, maybe walk the hands back in line with the feet, or you can always take them fingers pointing back all the way through. Lovely, keep the weight forward into the balls of the feet. That's it. Lovely, come up halfway. Walk yourself back round to the top of your mat, right foot forward. Step into your forward fold. So you know where you're going here. If you want to go straight into your cobbler pose, Heel toe the feet a little bit wider, toes pointing out. And again, option there to take Malasana first of all, so hips sink down, chest lifts up, fingertips can stay down or come to the heart, prayer position. You're pressing the knees open as you sink down, keep the chest lifted. Such a good hip opener, but as the legs get more tired, it can feel challenging. So make yourself almost feel light, press the earth away. You can drop down into your cobbler pose at any point. Let's take 3 more breaths here. As you drop out of your Malasana, move nice and slowly, either forward or back, depending on what feels best for you. We won't take a long cobbler pose if you're already there, brilliant. If you just want to land there, draw the feet in, drop the body forward, let the head hang down. Maybe keep the breath a little bit stronger in this one, Ujjayi breath perhaps. Breathing into the back body, breathing into the hips and the belly. All right, pick yourself back up. We have our final hip focused position to take, our shoelace pose. So your left leg will be on top this time, right leg tucked underneath if that's comfortable to do so. If it's not, allow the right leg to be extended. Find your position, be aware of this left hip lifting up a little bit. If it's very high, you can always prop it, put your blanket or something underneath so that you feel that you can root down. But otherwise, just send it there. It may touch down as we hold. Settle in. Notice your breath. May feel different on this side. If you want the option of leaning forward, you can take that. And can you make that left hip any heavier? Be aware of any parts of the body that are resisting the pose, resisting the opening through the hips. Maybe encourage them to soften, to let go with the breath. Again, you can stay just as you are here. If you would like to add in the twist, sit tall, lengthen on a breath in. Turn to your left as you breathe out. Use that right arm to press into the left knee. Shoulders stay over the hips. And find length on every inhale, and maybe a little bit more space to twist at the end of the exhale. Lovely, one more breath here. And then slowly unravel yourself. Unravel the legs. Give them a final shake out. And then from there, we are heading down to the mat. Make sure you've got anything with you that you will want to prop or bolster with at the end, or your blankets. Take an inhale. Roll yourself down to the mat. Let's take a full body stretch when we get there. Lengthen the legs out, point the toes, extend the arms overhead. Reach as far as you possibly can, fingertips to toes. And then draw the knees slowly, one at a time, into the chest. Give them a hug, little rock. Let's finish here with a happy baby. Feet to the sky. Hold the outer edges, the big toes, or if you prefer, ankles. Anything that you can grab hold of, draw those knees down off the body. All right, then release the legs. We're moving into Shavasana. You can put cushions under your knees. You can take a final hip opener with reclined butterfly, maybe cushions under the thighs to make it relaxing. You can bend the knees, let the knees fall in. Wherever you choose, make sure you are not holding yourself there. The whole body can now let go. Settle, become still. Be aware of any sensation of energy, of prana moving around the body. As you breathe here, notice maybe where you feel freer, with more space than you did at the start. Enjoy settling here with those sensations now. Awareness on the breath. without any movement in the physical body. Just begin to draw awareness back. Be aware of your energy in the space that you hold. Be aware of your breath. Begin to take those breaths a little deeper. And bring some movement back, starting in the fingers and the toes. And then gradually letting that movement spread through hands and feet, arms and legs, and the rest of the body. You can rock the head, take a stretch. And then in your own time, start to make your way back to a seat. You can roll onto a side, pausing there. And as you lift yourself up, keep the eyes closed or gaze soft. Settle with hands on the knees. Offer the palms upwards. And feel a little lift of energy through the spine as you take these final breaths here. A mix of ease and space, but also energy. We're going to close our practice with a cleansing breath. So bring the hands to the heart, one on top of the other. And then take your next breath in through the nose. And let it go as a sigh through the mouth. Well done. Thank you for joining me for your practice this evening. Namaste.